Hey guys, it's me Jadyn and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So right now I'm still kind of working through my hip injury and just really working to get my hip back to where it is. So I thought that I'd bring you guys a sit down video, just kind of talk to talk, person to person over the screens. Just a fun sit down video of 7 things that you probably shouldn't say to a dancer. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Okay, so the first one is kind of a more serious one out of all of these, which I've heard people say not directly to me, but I've heard other people's experience with it. But when you talk to someone about saying that you're a dancer, especially if you do ballet, and they say, wait, I thought dancers had to be like super skinny. Like, the Ballet Society is very messed up in that way, where that is the ideal body, but thankfully there's been a time where people are more accepting of everyone in dance, and that has been really great in the dance community. And so when you say that to us, it's not really helping in any way. It's kind of just hurting, making us feel bad, making us a little more critical on ourselves than we need to be, because in honesty, if your body can dance, then you're a dancer. You don't need to look a certain way to be a dancer. If you can dance, then you're a dancer. You don't, like, there's nothing else about it. So there's a serious one over. Let's get into the next one. How many spins can you do? For those of you who don't dance or don't know anything about dance and you're watching this video, they're not called spins. And when you say spins to us, you sound, I'm putting this nicely, you sound incredibly uneducated. Now, there are different types of turns, but they are all in the category of turns. So that is kind of a big thing. That's like, if you're not using the correct terminology, then it really bothers us if you act like you know what you're doing and then you clearly have no clue. The next one is when people assume that because you're a dancer, you're extremely flexible and you can do the splits and you can show them right at that second. I've had people come up to me when I talk about dancing and they're like, wait, so you can do the splits, right? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I train in classical ballet, I can do the splits. And they're like, well, can you show me right now? It's like, well, no. I mean, I'm most likely in jeans because that's what I wear to school and when I go out. So first of all, jeans are not good for splits. At least not for me. I can't really do the splits in jeans. So that's one component to it. The next one is I'm probably incredibly cold. My hips are probably not warmed up at all. And for me, I can't just go into a split. I have to be warm. So if I'm not warm, I'm not gonna do a split. But that kind of just aggravates us because it's like, just because we can do it doesn't mean that we have to show you right then. So that is the third thing that annoys us. The next thing is when people say that it's not even that hard or it's not that physically demanding and that it's pretty easy to do dance and to do ballet. And when people say this, it just undermines everything because obviously we train to make it look easy. I mean, if you think that, I just ask you, please go look up videos of football players and weightlifters and bodybuilders trying to do ballet. It is so funny because they keep thinking they're doing a really great job, and when you look at it from a ballet perspective, you're like, it's not even close. So when people say that it's not that hard, it's really frustrating because it makes us feel like, well, we respect the sports that you do, so why don't you respect something that is physically demanding that we do? Okay, the fifth one that people say and that people just assume that is frustrating and you probably don't want to do dancer is Wait, so you dance, so you compete like on Dance Moms, right? And you've competed against Dance Moms. This is really frustrating because not all types of dance are recognized on Dance Moms. Obviously, it's a competition studio, and it's the atmosphere of a competition, while you have classical dancers and they're not really getting any representation on that. And so when you just assume and say, oh, it's like Dance Moms, then you're just kind of assuming that they're at that level, when in reality the dancer could be much farther, surpassed that level, or they could be much younger, beginner. So it's just very frustrating when people try to compare all types of dance to Dance Moms and competition dance. The next thing that you probably shouldn't tell a dancer or say to a dancer is that they dance too much. Because if they're talking to you about dance, it's most likely because they love it. And if you try to discourage them or tell them that they dance too much, it's really frustrating because not many people do stand behind us and do really push us towards achieving our goals and support us in the world. So when you have a bunch of people, especially someone that you're talking to, it's usually because you're a good friend of theirs, or you're friendly enough that you can talk to them about stuff that you love and you're passionate about. And when they tell you that you dance too much, it just makes you feel like, well, I mean, it makes me happy. I love it. Of course I'm gonna do as much of it as I can. So when you say to someone that they dance too much, like if I was to tell a soccer player, you play soccer too much, or you run too much, or you play football too much, or you play tennis too much, or you play video games too much, you play chess too much. Like, I'm just shooting your passion down and just kind of making me feel like, thanks. Like, of course I'm gonna do it because I love it. So that's something that you probably shouldn't tell a dancer and you shouldn't say around them. And then last but not least, and the last thing that you shouldn't say to a dancer is, dance is really a lot like gymnastics, right? Like, you can do a flip, right? I haven't gotten this one, but I know people that have gotten this one. And it's really frustrating when people will take dance and take gymnastics as two separate things and combine them into one, especially with the floor routine. People assume that they're dancers because they do a floor routine, and then if you have acro class where there are more acrobatic-like moves, and they just kind of associate them as one and they kind of mix them together. It's very frustrating because you cannot even do acro, you could be a classical dancer. But if this person only knows about acro in dance and gymnastics, then they would just assume that there's a connection when there really isn't. So that's the last thing that you probably shouldn't say to a dancer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you enjoyed this kind of sit-down video, or if you like more of like the vlogs and the just kind of run and gun videos compared to a sit-down video. And let me know if there are any more video ideas that you'd like to see. Obviously, I do still want to do the oversplit stretching. I'm just waiting until I get to be better hip-wise and just complete physically wise before I resume that, but that is on my to-do list for the upcoming few months. So as always, remember to like and subscribe, and like I said, comment down below any more video ideas you have, and make sure to always stay positive. Love you guys.